Have you noticed with all this summer temperatures recently, anything you can pick up is being used as a fan? People are trying to stay cool however they can because the air conditioners just aren't keeping up. That got us thinking, why is it so important to stay cool? Blanca Cobb, who's got a master's degree in psychology, joins us to talk about how the heat can impact your health and your brain. So Blanca, talk to us about heat-related illnesses.
When you're hot, believe it or not, sometimes you can feel physically ill. Some people will get this upset stomach. Other people just won't have an appetite because it's just food just doesn't seem appealing. Also, it can lead to heat exhaustion, heat cramps, and heat stroke. And if you get to the heat stroke, that's where that requires immediate medical attention because that can be very serious.
But it can also impact our brain. What does that mean? How does that happen?
Well, what happens is when you're hot, your body has to find a way to cool off. So you cool off by sweating. So if you sweat more, if you lose more water or more fluid than what you're actually taking in, you can become dehydrated. Our brains need water in order to function properly. So when you're feeling dehydrated, it can impact your concentration and your memory. Also, heat can disrupt your sleep, which means you're not going to sleep as well. When you don't sleep as well, what happens to some people is they can feel a little cranky, they can feel tired, but it also impacts memory and concentration.
I'll be honest, the heat makes me very cranky, Blanca. What are some ways we can all stay
For most of us.
Good, I'm glad to know I'm not alone. How do we all stay cool in this hot weather?
You've heard it a million times. I'm going to say it for the millionth and first. But you want to wear loose clothing. And the reason is when you wear tight clothing, you're actually trapping in heat. And that heat is up against your body and it feels uncomfortable and you feel more irritated because there's no way to ventilate. That's why loose clothing is so important. Wear light colored clothing because it doesn't trap or keep in as much heat. Also, stay in the shade, get in the air conditioning if possible. Make sure that you are just drinking a ton of fluids. You need more than what you actually think you do, particularly when you're hot and sweaty. And then here's another one. Try not to cook in your kitchen. I'm not saying not eat, just find cooler foods to eat because when you're turning on the stove or the oven, what's happening, you're generating more heat and it tends to stay in the kitchen. And particularly if you're gonna eat your food in the kitchen, guess what? You're eating warm food, plus you're in a warm environment and that can just continue to increase the heat, uncomfortableness, and as well as irritability.
Okay, salads it is. We don't have to cook those at all. I'm going for it.
That's right.
Thanks so much, Blanca. We appreciate it. You can continue the conversation on her Facebook page, Blanca Cobb, Body Language Experts.